Hello, I'm Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, tips that will have you sleeping like a baby. Then, need a reason to smile? We'll share makeovers that will make your day. Considering care options is complicated. We'll direct you to an optimal way to assess your alternatives. Plus, we'll put you in the driver's seat as we cruise car classics at a new auto exhibit. And even with Medicare, you'll still pay plenty for your health care. So we'll offer helpful tips to cut your costs.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. You've heard about sleep apnea and maybe even think the topic's a bit of a snore, but this will wake you up. Sleep apnea can kill. This nightmare scenario is real, but it can be avoided. And Dr. Joseph Golish is here to share some dream-come-true treatments. Dr. Golish is with the Metro Health Center for Sleep Medicine. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Armin. Good morning.
Good morning. So, sleep apnea, it's more than a nuisance. It can actually cause a lot of physical health harm and kill you.
Absolutely. Sleep apnea, it's incredibly common, usually unrecognized, and can cause a whole variety of health problems. And in fact, can shorten lifespan as much as 10 to 15 years if it's not treated.
What are some of the health problems?
Well, on this list you can see high blood pressure, diabetes, heart attacks, strokes. There's a tenfold...
All kinds of stuff.
Absolutely. There's a tenfold increased risk in car accidents, even fatal car accidents, that can even affect innocent bystanders. In fact, the DOT has just begun requiring that all commercial drivers be tested for apnea to be sure they're safe. And recently, cancer's been associated with apnea.
If we're snoring, does that mean we have sleep apnea?
No, if it's snoring alone with those sleep symptoms, about half of those snorers have apnea.
Half?
But, yes, because the obstruction's only partial. But with apnea, the obstruction becomes more complete, causes the snoring, plus pauses in breathing, poor sleep, and tiredness the next day.
If we want to fix it, do we have to use that Darth Vader machine that goes over the whole head? And
well,
all
if you
that?
want to, but there are options.
Okay.
CPAP for the last 3 decades has been the standard, and the reason is because it always works, at least in the lab, but in fact at home...
This is a picture, right?
Yes, yeah, and it is, it's obtrusive. There's a lot of equipment there, and it is a hassle, so that in fact about 2/3 of patients actually don't use it, even though they have it.
What's the Winx machine now? This is a whole new thing, and I want to talk about that.
It's interesting that for the last 3 decades we've been struggling with CPAP, and for some patients, if they're having trouble with it, it's just changing the mask of the machine. But for others, they just can't use it, and we've been waiting for something. And out of heaven, 2 devices dropped in the last 2 years. One is this Winx machine,
right?
And there's a picture of it. It's really quite small. It's about the size of a water pick. It has a real thin tube like a water pick that comes out of it, but instead of pushing air under pressure, it has a low-grade vacuum, so it provides some suction with a little mouthpiece that holds it in place.
Why are people going to use this when they haven't been using the CPAP?
Very good question. While CPAP compliance might be 30%, compliance with this is 90% plus. It's very light. It's real comfortable. It doesn't tether or hold the person in place, and it's real well accepted.
And does it work?
Yes, it does work. It doesn't work in everybody, and that's true of pretty much any treatment for apnea. It's never 100%. But for most patients, it does work, and almost everybody who it does work will use it.
You mentioned that there were 2 new treatments that fell out of the sky. One is the Winx machine. The other is, are these 2 little patches here?
Yes.
Tell us, what is that?
The device is called Provent, and it's a way of delivering CPAP, but without all the machinery. It's like a Breathe Right strip. It's a Band-Aid with a valve in the center. It's easy to breathe in. You put one on each nostril each night. Easy to breathe in through the nose, but when you try to breathe out through the nose, the valve comes across, and you breathe against resistance. It causes a back pressure, so you become your own CPAP machine, and it replaces all that other equipment. And tolerance, again, like the Winx, almost everybody can use it comfortably and actually look forward to using these things.
One of the things I've been impressed with is you're like the lead guy. I mean, you've been interviewed by the New York Times and Good Morning America, and this Winks machine that you talked about, you can only get it like in 4 places in the whole country, and Metro Health is one.
Yes, Metro Health has access to that device, and there are 3 others in other parts of the country. It is FDA approved. Some of the insurances actually already pay for it.
Great.
It's that good.
And for the Provent, you have to go through a sleep study, and you can do that through Metro as well?
Right, and home
Great.
studies have become real popular now because of the cost savings, and so in-lab studies had always been an obstacle for a lot of people, but home studies make it much more available to them.
Doctor, thank you so much. This is such an important issue and great new information. If you have sleep apnea, don't take the diagnosis lying down. Call Metro Health Center for Sleep Medicine and make an appointment. The number's coming up next. My thanks to Dr. Golish for this very important wake-up call.
Find out more by calling the Metro Health Center for Sleep Medicine at 216-778-3441 or visit www.metrohealth.org/sleep. Next, why grins are in.